years after the divorce, she still missed him, although pride would never allow her to admit that. Even her budding relationship with Ted Reynolds, the local veterinarian, paled when she thought about her life with Kent and their history together. "My turn!" Displacing Bailey, Sophie snuggled into Beth's embrace. "The house looks fabulous, Mom. Really Christmassy." This child was more like Beth. A few inches shorter than her sister, Sophie had curly auburn hair and eyes so blue they seemed to reflect a summer sky. Releasing Beth, Sophie added, "And it smells wonderful." Beth had done her best to make the house as festive and bright as possible for her daughters. She'd spent long hours draping fresh evergreen boughs on the staircase leading to the second-floor bedrooms. 2 of the 3 Christmas trees were loaded with ornaments. The main tree in the family room was still bare, awaiting their arrival so they could decorate it together, which was a family tradition. A trio of 4-foot-tall snowmen stood guard in the hallway near the family room where the nativity scene was displayed on the fireplace mantel. Decorating had helped take Beth's mind off the fact that her ex-husband would be joining them for Christmas. This would be the first time she'd seen him in 3 years. Oh, they'd spoken often enough, but every conversation had revolved around their daughters, nothing else. No questions asked, no comments of a personal nature, just the girls and only the girls. It had been strictly business. Until now, until Christmas. They both loved the holidays. It was Kent who'd first suggested they have several Christmas trees, always fresh ones, which was one reason Beth had been attracted to the Christmas tree farm when she started her new life. "I've got lunch ready," Beth said, trying to turn her attention away from her ex-husband. He still lived in California, as did the girls. He'd stayed in their hometown of Sacramento, while Bailey and Sophie both attended university in San Diego. According to their daughters, Kent had asked to come for Christmas. She'd known for almost 2 weeks that he'd made reservations at the Time and Tide B&B in Cedar Cove. The news that he'd be in town had initially come as a shock to Beth. He hadn't discussed it with her at all. Instead, he'd had their daughters do his talking for him. That made everything more awkward because it wasn't as if she could refuse, not with Bailey and Sophie so excited about spending Christmas together as a family. But Kent's plans had left her with a host of unanswered questions. Was this his way of telling Beth he missed her? Was he looking for a reconciliation? Was she? The questions swarmed in her head, but the answers wouldn't be clear until he arrived. At least she'd be better able to judge his reasons, his intentions, and her own. "Just like it used to be," Bailey finished. Beth had missed whatever she'd said before that, although it wasn't hard to guess. Just like it used to be. These were magic words. But Beth had recognized long ago that the clock only moved forward. Yet the girl's eagerness, Kent's apparent insistence, and her nostalgia for what they'd once shared swept aside her customary reserve. "Mom?" Bailey said when she didn't respond. "We're talking. Where are you?" Beth gave a quick shake of her head. "Wool gathering. Sorry, I haven't had much sleep lately." Exhausted as she was, managing the tree farm and getting ready for Christmas with her daughters and Kent, she'd hardly slept. She couldn't. Every time she closed her eyes, Kent was there. Kent with his boyish smile and his eyes twinkling with mischief and fun. They'd been happy once, and somehow they'd lost that. And so much more. Beth had never been able to put her finger on what exactly had gone wrong. She only knew that it had. In the end, they'd lived separate lives, going their own ways. Their daughters had kept them together. And then they were off at college.
to keep listening to this audiobook. I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.